Sanyan Erpai is a collection of classic Chinese short stories compiled during the Ming and Qing dynasties. These tales, rich in moral lessons, explore themes of destiny, justice, and human nature, often featuring dramatic reversals of fortune. The collection remains a cornerstone of Chinese storytelling, blending historical anecdotes with folklore to capture the essence of traditional values and societal expectations. The scholar who was cast aside happened in the Han Dynasty. Zhu Maichen was a poor but ambitious man living in Kuaiji. He and his wife reside in a humble hut, barely scraping by on the firewood he gathered and sold in the market. Yet, despite his poverty, Zhu remained dedicated to studying, carrying books even as he hauled firewood, reciting passages aloud as he walked. Townspeople admired his scholarly spirit, but children and idle youth mocked him. One day, as his wife fetched water, she saw children laughing at Zhu's peculiar habits. Ashamed, she confronted him, insisting he either focus on selling firewood or devote himself entirely to his books. Zhu explained that his goal was to rise above poverty through education, and that a fortune teller had predicted he would succeed at 50. His wife scoffed, saying that unless the underworld needed a new judge, such a fate was impossible. Frustrated by his foolish persistence, she declared that if he continued chasing empty dreams, she would leave. Zhu, already 43, begged her to wait just 7 more years, promising she would regret abandoning him. She refused, insisting she would never regret her decision. Years later, when Zhu finally reached 50, fate took a turn. The Han Emperor sought capable officials, and with the recommendation of a fellow townsman, Zhu was appointed as the governor of Kuaiji. As he traveled to assume his post, laborers were ordered to repair roads in the preparation for his arrival, including his former wife's new husband. She, now impoverished and desperate, rushed barefoot to deliver food to her husband, only to see the grand procession approaching. To her horror, the newly appointed governor was none other than Zhu Maichen. Recognizing her at once, Zhu ordered his attendants to bring her to his carriage. At his residence, she fell to her knees, begging for forgiveness and offering to serve as his concubine. Instead, Zhu had a basin of water poured on the steps and told her, "If you can gather this spilled water back into the basin, then we may reunite." She stood in silence, understanding his message. Overcome with shame, she threw herself into a river, ending her life. Now the real story begins. During the Southern Song dynasty in Hangzhou, beggars were not merely outcasts, but living under a structured system led by Tuantou, head of beggars. One such leader, Jin Laoda, had built a fortune over generations. Yet because of his lowly status, he struggled to find a suitable match for his daughter, Jin Yunu, a woman of exceptional beauty, intelligence, and talent. Eventually, a match was proposed. Mo Ji, a promising but impoverished scholar, though hesitant about marrying into a beggar's family, Mo Ji agreed, enticed by the financial security. After their marriage, Jin Yunu wholeheartedly supported her husband's studies, providing him with books and connections. Her sacrifices bore fruit when Mo Ji passed the imperial exams and was appointed to an official post. However, success changed Mo Ji. No longer the struggling student, he grew ashamed of his wife's background. On their journey to his new appointment, as they passed the dark water of the Yangtze River, he lured Jin Yunu to the boat's edge, pretending to admire the moonlight, then pushed her into the waves. To the world, it would seem a tragic accident had taken her life. Yet fate intervened. That very night, a high-ranking official, Xu Dehou, and his wife heard weeping along the river bank. Investigating, they found the drenched and trembling Jin Yunu. Moved by her plight, they took her in as their own daughter, vowing to help her seek justice. Months later, Xu devised a plan. He invited Mo Ji, now an official, to a grand banquet and offered him an irresistible proposal, a marriage to his noble daughter. Eager to climb the social ladder, Mo Ji eagerly accepted, unaware that his new bride was the very woman he had tried to kill. On their wedding night, instead of a romantic evening, Mo Ji was ambushed by a group of elderly maids who beat him with bamboo rods until he collapsed. When he opened his eyes, he saw Jin Yunu standing before him. Terrified, he fell into his knees, believing he was seeing a ghost. Only when she spoke did he realize the truth. She had survived, and now justice had caught up with him. At Xu's insistence, Jin Yunu had the final say. Though she had every right to ruin him, she chose mercy over vengeance. Mo Ji, now humbled and broken, repented. He later took in Jin Yunu's father, Jin Laoda, and cared for him in his old age. Grateful to Xu family, when they passed, Jin Yunu mourned them like her own parents, and the two families remained connected for generations. Why I like this story? Both tales share a common theme: abandonment and redemption. Zhu Maichen's story highlights the folly of short-sightedness and the irony of fate, while Jin Yunu's tale serves as a reminder that patience, intelligence, and resilience can turn even the gravest injustice into triumph. These narratives, though centuries old, remain deeply relevant, reminding us of the dangers of greed and the power of perseverance and the unpredictable turns of fortune.